Good afternoon. It's October the 10th, Thanksgiving Monday here in Saskatchewan and in Canada, where we celebrate Monday on the second Thanksgiving of October. Celebrate Thanksgiving on the second Monday of October. It is a Monday, and although I'm walking in the afternoon and not in the morning, I will do my along the creek walk I normally do on Mondays. Probably encounter a lot more people than some days, but that's okay. But we'll take a little different path. Instead of going to the dike, we will, I think, go walk, we will go to the dike, but we'll join it at a different place and reverse flow from the last time I walked along the creek. I was doing a little bit of work this morning, but I was helping my wife with something as well, so program called Doodly that I've been experimenting with. I've used it a couple of times and she wanted to use it for something, so I was helping her with that. Makes these kind of animated presentations that appear to be being drawn as you watch them, which is interesting even if you don't know.
Can I ask what you're doing?
Live streaming my walk.
That's very exciting.
I do it, I've been doing it for about a year and a half. It's you look for Walking in Regina on YouTube, you'll find it. Right, so Doodly, yeah. So I was working on something with her this morning there, and helped her out, and then first dog. And then I had some other, there's a publishing thing I'm working on for somebody. And anyway, bits and pieces. So I didn't walk this morning, and of course slept in just a little bit, being a Thanksgiving. Hi, Kirk in Vancouver. We had a family get together last night and going to a friend's house tonight, so kind of two Thanksgiving celebrations. There's Henderson Terrace, built in 1913. See, I used to have to look it up, but I finally memorized it. We're going to just walk straight up here to the dike and walk along this side of the dike instead of along the path to start with. Quite breezy today, so I put on sunglasses to hopefully keep the dirt out of my contacts. They're not 100%, but they do help. Now we're in the street here with the low water yard on this house. That's where the footbridge is down there, but we're not going that way this time. I have this kind of notion that we'll walk along the creek in a slightly different fashion than sometimes today. So then this coming week, I've got tomorrow's Tuesday and then it's Wednesday. Got plenty to do, and then Thursday I fly to Ottawa for CanCon, the science fiction convention I'm going to. As I said, I'll maybe do a walk in Ottawa on Friday. If it's not raining. It's supposed to rain on Thursday, but Friday didn't look too bad. And I have most of Friday free until the convention starts, so I might do a walk in. Oh, look, leaves I can crunch. Good sound effects. No expense spared. Oh, kind of ran out of them. There we go, more crunch. Then I'm not back till the Tuesday after that, so there may not be a walking in Regina for a few days there, but there may be a walking in Ottawa. We'll see. the dike rising ahead of us. I hear weird noises coming from ahead of me somewhere. I don't know what that is. Kind of equipment, I guess. Well, now behind me, a lot of leaf blowers out. It's probably what I'm hearing. I like this basketball hoop. I could slam dunk that one. Wouldn't even have to jump. It's very warm today, 24 or something. Although it goes down to 1. It was like 1 when I got up this morning, and now it's 24. And it's going to be 1 again tonight, so the temperatures go up and down quickly this time of year. There's the creek, looking a little sluggish and low and algae grown, actually. There's not a lot of water coming out of the lake at the moment. I noticed that yesterday, so probably got something to do with that. I don't know what all that noise is. It sounds more like heavy equipment. Like maybe they're working on a roadway or something somewhere. See a lot of trees, even though in Lakeview where I was yesterday, there seemed to be a lot of trees hadn't even begun to lose their leaves. Along here, these are mostly gone bare already, so depends a lot on the species. Like I said, we're able to see a lot more people today on the path. Sure enough, there's a clump of them coming now. There's the Elphinstone Street Bridge. Grass is certainly turning brown. You don't see much green left in it anymore. Oh, someone else just said hello. Who's there? Hi, Colleen. Happy Thanksgiving. The willows, I think that's a willow. Anyway, they turn silvery, which is kind of cool. I hate the fact you get more people though. Not a big fan of. I like walking alone in solitude. That's why I don't like walking on holidays, actually. I'd rather walk in the middle of the week when it's 40 below. I don't have to pass all these people and their dogs. I'll get you and your little dog too. What the heck is that? Guess it's a powered wheelchair pulling somebody in a cart, pulling a kid in a cart. Okay, so I think just to be different, I'll go over here and walk in the grass instead of following the sidewalk like I often do. Assuming I can jaywalk here. Which I usually can if I'm careful. Because you can pick up a path right here and walk down by the creek this way, which I don't do very often. There's the creek. Very much a bicycle path because it's quite a deep rut. It's actually kind of a pain to walk in, so I'm actually walking out of the path proper. Sparkly water. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Sunshine almost always makes me high. I don't know if I'd go that far. If I had a song that I could sing you, I'd sing a song of days just like today. If I had a wish I could wish for you, I'd wish for you sunshine all your days. That's not actually right. It rhymed, kind of, but those weren't the right lyrics. That is the sentiment, though. John Denver's dead. He doesn't care what I do to his song. Ooh, harsh. Now here it's green. Even the grass is green. Of course, they do water this more than some places. But even down here by the creek, it's quite green. You could still think it's summer. Long-range forecast shows a definite lowering of temperature, not a lot of frost, but single-digit highs. And we are getting this last gasp of warm, summery weather. Just a few days after our first couple of big frosts. That's the Neil Balkwell Civic Arts Center over there. And there's Baseball Diamond and a playground and water. And trees and weeds. Here's the footbridge that we are not crossing today. Don't see it from this side very often. Oof. Although it's quite scenic from this direction. And we'll stick to the path right by the creek here, instead of walking through the winding bike path up there. For some reason, this is a more walking-friendly path. It's not as deeply rutted as the other one. We were talking to our daughter this afternoon in Toronto. She'll be home in about a month for a reading week. She's going to come home. And it's just about another month after that she comes home for Christmas. So good to see her. We text every day, but it's not the same as having her here. The lighting is just different this time of the day than when I normally walk. You can see how long the shadows are, and it's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so you can tell we're past the equinox and heading into shortest days. Or what? About 12 weeks till the Shouldn't be that much even. Till the shortest day of the year. 3 weeks in December. 7. No, not 12. More like 10 or 11 weeks till the shortest day of the year. Now we rejoin the main path. I think I'll go under the bridge here today, since I've cut it short on this side in a way by taking those paths. Then maybe I'll do a loop around and go down the other side of the creek to go back, I think is what I will do. I like where you get the sun shining on the creek from this direction this time of day. It's a little different from what I see in the mornings. More sparkly water. Wascana Street Bridge coming up. Dramatic backlighting there with the sparkling water on the other side of the shadow of the bridge. Oh, there's somebody coming.
Yeah.
That didn't look fun. I'm not going to go under the Louvain Bridge, I don't think. I'll go up here, take a loop up that way, and then back down Pasqua and over to the other side of Pasqua. There's a bit of a weir here that was quite quiescent the last time I walked by, so we'll see what it's doing today. But as I said, the water seemed quite... There wasn't much water coming out of the lake, which means there's not much water flowing down the creek. So I suspect the weir is not being very weirish at the moment. We'll go that way in a minute, but let's just see what we see down here. Yeah, I don't think it's even flowing at the moment. A little bit. It has to flow a little bit. It'd be a dam, but that's all that's coming over at the moment. Sometimes it's pouring over the whole length of that. Right, we'll go back up, go down by the baseball field over here, loop around, and then go over to the other side of the creek. That's the Louvain there, that's the higher speed north-south route on this side of town. Somewhat higher speed. There's still lots of traffic lights on it further down. But at this end, it's certainly faster than Albert Street, which is the main north-south drag that goes right through downtown. goes to the west, the main part of downtown, but still. Apartment buildings over here. There's a bit of a path that'll take us up to their parking lot. There are certain times of the year I don't like to walk along here. If they've let this grow, there's always a lot of nettles, but the path is very clear right now, so maybe they have mowed it more this year than other years. It looks like it was mowed not that long ago. I think someone's rollerblading in the parking lot, so I want to avoid that. We'll go down this side of the apartment buildings, I think. Or else we'll get on the sidewalk. See, now renting, should you be looking for a place, here's one possibility. They seem nice enough, but basic, but still. There you go, now renting. There's the phone number. We'll go this way. Between the buildings. And up on the other side is Sask Express, which is a youth performing arts school and troupe. I presume they were doing their touring shows this year. After not, for a couple of years. I imagine they were back on stage this summer. They tend to go to, fairgrounds and things like that. It's an old school, as you can tell. I actually rehearsed in it when it was, after it had been closed down as a school, but before Saskatchewan Express moved in there. When we did the Fantastics, I think, is what we rehearsed in here. The first time I was in the Fantastics, playing El Gallo, whom I've played twice and would gladly play again, given the opportunity. We rehearsed in this space. El Gallo's the one that sings, "Try to remember the kind of September." He kind of tells the story, but he's also part of the story. So I can tell it's a performing arts space. They also have their old gym in there is a nice little theater they've done shows in, and Derek did a show in too, although I wasn't in it. 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, which is a great musical. But I just watched that year, I was not part of it. And now we've done a loop. This will take us back to the bridge, and then I'm going to walk down the other side of the creek. Is the plan. Stan. Over there you can see the legislative building rising above the trees. Here's the main entrance. Sask Express, as it says, as I said it would say, so it says. Just like I said. Now, when I get up here, I'll see what my timing is and decide how I'll do the return trip. If I go up over to the right a bit more and then work my way back, or if I just go down the creek on the other side. Doesn't feel like I've been walking all that long, so I'm getting thirsty though with this wind drying me out. It's a very dry climate. On a windy day when it hasn't rained in quite some time. It's a dry wind. If you don't like humidity, Saskatchewan's not a bad place. You don't get a lot of it. It's not a desert climate, but it's semi-arid. I believe is the official designation. We don't actually get that much snow, but because it gets cold and then it stays cold, the snow piles up, and so it will remain white pretty much for the entire winter, unless we happen to get a midwinter thaw, which does happen. Don't think it happened last year to speak of. Not enough to clear away the snow in your bay. But it's not really that much snow, on average 3 feet or something over the course of the winter, if I remember right. Alright, over the bridge. So we're looping over the path we walked along a few minutes ago. And we can take a look down the creek from here. There you can see the weir that we looked at before. Yeah, how long have I walked? I can't quite make it out. I need a little more shade than that. And I'll decide if I'm going to go on up this way or head straight back. Or just walk straight up here. It's another option. And work my way back. Let's see if I can see the screen enough now to see what it says. 27 minutes. Well, that's almost half an hour, so I think I will head back. And we'll follow the creek path on this side. And then join the path that I normally follow but did not. So, back to the creek. It's like Back to the Future, only not quite as exciting, and no DeLoreans involved. Or time travel, unfortunately. Although there goes a bicycle, but not a time traveling one so far as I can tell. But how could you tell, right? For all you know, time travelers are around us all the time. Oh! Ow! I did not see that dip at all, so it was very jarring. I apologize for the sudden grunt. That's what that was all about. Oh, there's the girl that fell down. She's still going, so good for her. She's probably got a scrape or a bruise, but didn't stop her. Crunch, crunch. Maybe I won't walk along the path. Maybe I'll go over into the neighborhood over there just to be different. Once I get up here to where I joined the path, I walk along that so often. I feel I should vary it. I saw an animal out of the corner of my eye, but I think it was just the shade flickering on my glasses. Haven't seen any bunny rabbits, geese, squirrels. Haven't seen anything except dogs. Haven't even seen a bird on the creek. The spires of the cathedral rising above the trees over there briefly. So there comes the footbridge, which we did not cross at all today, even though we're now on the opposite side of it. But I think I'll go over here into the neighborhood. There's even a crosswalk I can use. Not that it matters because nobody's coming. Okay, we will rejoin the creek before we go across it, obviously. But for the time being, we will move away from the creek over here. This is a very, very wide corner for some reason. Something to do with the angles the street meet at. Right up ahead of us is Sheldon Williams Collegiate High School, where my daughter would have gone if we hadn't sent her to Luther, which is a private school. Luther College High School. She did come here for band classes. Sheldon Williams Area Music Program, The Swamp. So I endured a couple of elementary school band concerts here. Doesn't pay to be musically trained and savvy and go to elementary band concerts, but they did their best, and there's always some kids that are really good. So Alice played trombone, and she even took private lessons for a while, but it didn't really stick when she got to high school. She had other interests, and she couldn't do band and the other things. And one of those other things was choir, which I much preferred her being in, and she ended up in Ave, which is their high-end vocal ensemble, advanced vocal ensemble, Ave. So that was cool. And they went to New York, and I got to go along as a chaperone. So that was great. First time she'd been to New York, and I got to go with her for that first trip, which I much enjoyed. And I had been before a couple of times, so at least I knew how to get them to the Met the day we went there. And of course, they were great kids, and there was not the slightest problem having these high school kids in New York. I think they thought I was a radar gun, slow as they were going. Because this, of course, is a school zone at 30 miles an hour. We will curve to our left here. Also an interesting little space. You have this green space in the middle, and then it all comes together. Oof, here. Again, watch out for those unexpected descents. We'll continue this way along 18th, That would take us right back to the path by the creek. I think I want to be on this side. So I figure these are 60s, probably, most of these, maybe 50s. The houses that I associate with, that my friends had when I was a kid, but we lived in these converted Air Force barracks in Weyburn at the former British Commonwealth Air Training Command base, where Western Christian College was located, where my dad taught. So I always envied the kids that had houses like this, you know, actual houses. Never really had one until now. And it's not one of these. Ours is 100 years old, so it's a completely different style. But I had friends who had houses like this, and it was always cool to visit them. There's nothing spectacular about them or special, but they were just different from what I lived in. We'll continue going this way, because again, the creek is off to our left. This house sold recently. That one on the corner is new, but has the more heritage neighborhood look to it, which is nice. This is obviously a new one too, newish anyway. This one has a big front garden. I think I'll go straight ahead. If I go to my left, I'm on Elphinstone. And eventually I end up at Regina Avenue anyway, so I think I'll just stick to the neighborhood here because I don't walk along here very often. And I'm getting very dry from the wind and the talking. Regina Avenue is just another block up. I could go that way, but I'll stick to the road. So again, Sheldon Williams is over there. You occasionally see somebody with artificial turf in front, and there's some appeal to that. Just have to leaf blow it and you're done. Don't have to water it. Here's one for sale if you're looking. There's a new one next to an older one. There's Regina Avenue. Cars going by. There's an alley here, so maybe I'll take it. Which will take us in behind the strip mall over here, I think. Yeah. There's the church. Used to be a church. I'm not sure if it is at the moment or not. It was a church, and it was a different church, and it started out as Christian Church Disciples of Christ, and more recently it was something else, and then it was nothing, but perhaps there's a church in there again. congregation. Since we're going this way, we'll check out the sign in front and see if it's currently being utilized as a church. Well, I've had a for sale sign, which doesn't seem to be there. But it also doesn't have... It says Regina Avenue Church on it, but I don't know if it's currently in use or not. Nice little strip mall over here. And we'll cross at the light up here and maybe... I think we'll just go straight down Regina Avenue, not go down into Waterfall Park. The waterfall's not running anyway. They closed it down for the winter. I'm quite warm. So yesterday was about this temperature, and I foolishly wore my sweater because it had been so chilly first thing in the morning. And again, it was chilly first thing in the morning, but today I was smart, checked the temperature and realized it was pretty warm and I did not need to wear a sweater. There's the front of the strip mall, and the orange building is condos. River Heights, they call this. See, over there is the waterfall garden, but again, there won't be a waterfall down there, so I don't think I'll walk that way. I'll stick to Regina Avenue. This takes you straight to the airport if you go on down that way. You go across the Louvain and then you're at the airport. Creek's over there, but I walk along that path so often, I'm going to stay up here in Regina Avenue. Then we will cross the footbridge we normally cross. Because one way or the other, you got to get across the creek. I don't know if anybody's watching live or not. I had a couple of people when I started said hi, and that's been it. And I can't see the little numbers, so I have no idea. But if you are, I hope you've been enjoying this Thanksgiving Monday walk in Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. You can subscribe and never miss a walk. If I get to 1,000 subscribers, I could actually make money off of this. I'm at 550 as of today. So only 450 to go, but I didn't think I'd ever get over 500, and here I am. I only had 40 when I started, so it really has done pretty well for what it is. You know, it's not exactly your cutting edge YouTube influencer channel. I could talk about the books I read and movies I've seen. Saw Everything Everywhere All at Once a couple of nights ago. It certainly is a lot going on in that movie. I enjoyed it very much. Michelle Yeoh is amazing in it. My favorite bit was the part with the rocks. Although Michelle Yeoh was not technically acting in that. She didn't even have a voiceover. And yet somehow, it's all part of the performance. So that was good. I'm reading the Emberverse novel series by Steve Sterling, S.M. Sterling, who's an author I've interviewed for the podcast, The World Shapers, and who contributed a story to set in this universe where combustion no longer does useful work, which is basically plunged people into more or less medieval situation. There's a backstory to that involves fantasy or aliens. It's hard to be sure. Anyway, I enjoyed the story he contributed, and my brother had told me he really liked these books, so there's 15 of them, I believe, and I'm on book 8. He had the longest story in the last anthology, and this time around that position is taken by Walter John Williams, who, like Steve Sterling, contributed a story way longer than I had said I wanted. But he was fine with taking the upper limit of the payment, so very happy to have it. All right, traditional look both ways, to the west. East. Now either walk along the dike or walk through the streets. I think I'll walk along the dike because I walked through the streets yesterday when I came back from Lakeview. Well, I walked part way along the dike, but I'll walk all the way down to Retallick this time. Maybe even to the one beyond that. So here we are once more. I did call it an autumn walk along the creek, so it is important to come back to the creek here towards the end of the walk. Yesterday I walked over on that side, in that little part of the pathway into what's called Rotary Park up there, and then walked around in Lakeview, which is the neighborhood on the other side of Regina Avenue. Over on this side it's called the Crescents or Cathedral for the bigger area. That's the street I walked down yesterday going home. This time we'll stay up here. It's nice when somebody actually rings the bell. Again, I think this house must be coming down. It's all boarded up. And we'll take the steep path down here. Oof! Yes. Good choice if I was 12. Not so great at 63, but I made it. Now we're on Retallick, which takes us in a couple of blocks to the stop sign where I usually stop. Halfway down the street is a sign where I stop. There's some color. I think we're past our peak though. Most of the really yellow leaves have already fallen and the others just kind of stay green till they fall off or turn brown. First snowfall will bring a ton of them down that have hung on.
Which way are you gonna go, Brock? Probably go that way. Yeah, last time you went, you turned out you didn't go up far enough. Yeah. And then you got just at the crest, right? Yeah. So if you go out here, you can hit the crest.
I like this house just because it has a turret on it. It's kind of a Bavarian look to it. You'll see here in a minute, once we get past this really big spruce tree. There, see? Bavarian. Also has interesting shingles. Oh, I can definitely use a drink when I get home. I am thirsty. Still a couple of hours before we go out for our evening get together. Tomorrow, most likely I'll walk downtown to look at my schedule. I know I'm interviewing somebody tomorrow for the podcast. I think it's in the morning. And I'll probably walk downtown and work downtown tomorrow afternoon because I like that. Getting out of the house. Probably I will just live stream that like I often do. And Wednesday, well, I don't know. I got another interview for the podcast on Wednesday. One that was supposed to happen on Friday, but she was having laptop difficulties, so we rescheduled. There should be a new episode next Sunday, but because I'll be in Ottawa, that won't happen. So I'll either put it out like the Tuesday of the following week, or wait another week. Probably I'll do it on the Tuesday because they're starting to pile up and I don't want to keep bumping things by an extra week. I might get enough I have to do them weekly, but hope not. I like not having to push to get them out, so it remains enjoyable. Okay, here's where we always stop. So thanks for walking with me if you walked with me live, or if you're watching the recording, thanks for that. And I'll talk to you next time. Don't forget, you can subscribe. Bye for now.